Welcome to your Friday, my friends. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. We had some severe thunderstorms roll through, but those warnings have been allowed to expire. More storms showing up here on Storm Tracker 4. Where they're going and what it means for your weekend, coming right up.
Also, first at 4, Governor Whitmer is giving you 500 reasons to make sure you're following her rules on face mask requirements. We'll explain. Paula.
What one school district is learning will work and is not going to work if we resume in-person classes in the fall, just based on their first week in summer school. I'll have a report.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, rain and thunder have been just rolling through Metro Detroit this afternoon. Take a look and a listen. Yeah, one of our crews was rolling on the rain in Novi this afternoon, and they heard that crack of that thunder. It was all over. Andrew Humphrey using Storm Tracker 4 to keep us up to date. So where do things stand right now?
Well, Karen, that certainly gets your attention, right? Where things stand now, the showers and thunderstorms are still around, but they're not as heavy, not as widespread as they were less than 2 hours ago. Take a look at Storm Tracker 4 up close. A lot of the heavier stuff moving to our north and east, including over southern Ontario, also over central Lake Erie. But we still have at least some light rain around, and even where the rain is lighter, we've experienced some lightning strikes. So you still want to be careful even if you're venturing out. Remember, it doesn't have to rain for there to be lightning, so always be careful. We still have wet roadways too, with some light to moderate rain coming down from the Sterling Heights area to Detroit and out toward Livonia and Southfield. More shower and thunderstorm activity, not as widespread, but still it is just to our south and west, and it still has a chance of making it through here, rotating through as we go through the next couple of hours into this evening and overnight tonight. And today, no 90 degrees. How about that? Yesterday was the last time we had 90 degrees. That made it 8 days in a row. Well, it stops today with the rain and the cloud cover. Temperatures are in the rain-cooled 70s. We also have a flash flood watch that begins at 8 o'clock this evening. More on that and your weekend forecast coming right up.
All right, let's get to our big story this Friday afternoon. Governor Whitmer has gone from warning us about wearing face masks to issuing a threat that could affect your wallet. Now, we're going to talk about a new executive order in just a second. But first, let's update you. Today, Michigan has 612 new confirmed cases of the coronavirus. It is the second time this week the number has jumped over that 600 mark. Also, a review of vital records has turned up 15 additional deaths. Governor Whitmer says wearing a mask saves lives. Local 4's Jason Colthorpe in the newsroom. Jason, what's the governor doing to get people to follow this advice?
Well, Karen, first of all, the governor had a news conference less than 24 hours before she announced this new executive order, and she spent a lot of that time urging people to wear face coverings. Now she's mandating much more.
I don't want to move backward. I don't want to close things down again. And yet, if these numbers continue to trend up, we may have to. And so this is an effort to avoid that. And so everyone's required to wear a mask when you're outside the house.
All right, let's break down the executive order. Here's what you need to know. It requires you to wear a face covering whenever you visit an indoor public space. You must also wear a mask in crowded outdoor spaces. That's probably the sandbar clause after what we saw in Cass County last weekend. Michigan businesses must refuse entry or service to anyone who won't wear a face covering, with limited exceptions. Those exceptions include children younger than 5, those who can't medically tolerate a mask, or if you're eating or drinking while you're seated. Violating the order is a misdemeanor subject to a $500 fine. The governor says Michigan businesses wanted this order to make the policy more clear.
I know that business owners want to get this right for the safety of their workforce as well as the safety of their patrons and all of their families. So this will need to be enforced at the local level. We're asking everyone to do their part. And so if you have a family member or a coworker who's not masking up, now's the time to get them to do it, because we need to get our kids back in school this fall. And if we have to take a step backwards, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully it cuts down on the ambiguity for sure that led to a lot of those disagreements we saw with people in stores. And Karen, there's also an exception for people engaging in religious worship inside a house of worship. But the governor points out the CDC strongly encourages people to wear face coverings at church. There is more reaction to the order when you join me tonight at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then.
All right. Thank you, Jason. We are also following breaking news from Detroit's west side. That is where one man is dead after a confrontation with Detroit police officers. This happened this afternoon in the area of West McNichols and San Juan. Grant Erms is there now. Grant, what happened?
Well, you can see here behind me, the scene is still taped off, and police expect it to be taped off for some time. But as we've been here, tensions have steadily risen as family and friends and neighbors say they saw this shooting, and police are telling a very different story from what they said happened. Now, this afternoon, Police Chief James Craig told us that the shooting happened at about 12:30. Officers were looking for a suspect in a 4th of July triple fatal shooting where 8 people were shot and 5 others were hurt there. Officers approached that car where they saw that suspect was sitting. They say they noticed another person walking up to them who said they knew their initial suspect. Well, that's when officers say they got into a confrontation with that person who walked up to that car and had to use some kind of hold on that person. Chief Craig says during the hold, the man being held pulled a gun on the officer, who then pushed him away as that man opened fire over his shoulder. As that officer pushed that man away, Chief Craig says the other officers opened fire, but neighbors who caught the aftermath on video are telling a very different story about what happened.
Young man coming off the porch, walking down the street, and the police came up the street and just asked him, "What's up?" And he put his hand in his pocket and he said, "What you doing?" And he just pulled out his gun and they started shooting at him. They shot him like 15, 20 times.
Well, now that man who police shot was taken to a nearby hospital and was pronounced dead when he arrived there. Their original suspect in that vehicle was taken into custody. Those other officers who were involved in the shooting will be placed on administrative leave. But obviously, you can see here, tension's very high. We'll have the latest for you coming up at 5 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Grant. Summer school. Let's talk about that right now. Summer school already underway in one Metro Detroit suburb. Administrators admit there is a dress rehearsal for what might be possible in the fall for in-person learning. Paula Tutman takes us to Novi, where students aren't the only ones taking notes.
In our area, relatively few schools are actually conducting in-person summer school. And so the ones that are, this becomes honestly a very important experiment, almost a dress rehearsal of what is possible in the fall if we resume in-person classes. There are only 300 students in summer school at Novi High School, and administrators as much as students are taking notes this year. While students might be learning calculus, administrators are learning what works and what doesn't in this perfect microcosm that has produced an ideal control group to gauge safe learning protocols for fall in-person learning.
We have 3 separate entrances, so we have about 100 at each entrance. We have staggered times, so they come at 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, about 30 at each time. They bring a health form from home that shows that, we ask the questions about, have you been in touch with anybody in your family who's sick or anybody outside your family who's had COVID, all those kinds of things. There's a temperature check.
And what they've learned is there are ways to keep students safe while learning in person.
It is eminently doable to have students wear masks all day. We're not having students complain about that. We're not having teachers complain about that. So that's a positive.
But these are also highly motivated students who want to be in school in the summer. A general population of students with lots of different viewpoints, home experiences, and attitudes towards safety will complicate things exponentially.
I'm trying to be very mindful to make sure the kids, keep that physical distance while at the same time being able to interact and share ideas.
This experiment called Summer School has also produced a learning of what is not sustainable.
Having health forms collected every day is a little tricky, so we're going to have to figure out perhaps an online version so we don't have as much paper.
Social distancing, easy with 300 students, not possible with more than 1,000.
To be able to socially distance them at the length we need to, it's just not feasible in some of the classroom sizes that we have, so that's a concern.
There's no way to kind of be able to schedule a way for people to get out of class at separate times where there's not going to be 30 people in one area.
Masks. Older students will wear them and can easily be policed with 300 students. Far more difficult with more than 1,000. But today is the end of the first week of the in-person summer school at Novi. It's gone well. The real test, however, is 10 to 14 days away to make certain that everything this district has worked so hard to put in place for safety measures works by not having an incidence of COVID. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Obviously, we'll be following that very, very closely. Novi District has 3 different sessions and says it will continue to tweak its fall in-person learning plans based on what they continue to learn from these in-person summer school sessions. Still ahead, here first at 4, the White House wants U.S. schools to fully reopen in the fall, but another country is finding out what happens when there are setbacks. Up first, Hollywood heartbreak. We do have an update on a missing actress and why this search for her is so difficult. Later, we told you animal shelters fill up in July after pets run away from holiday fireworks. Well, now it's your chance to do something about it and save some money. We got that story in Trending coming up.